Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Megan, I had a really fun package delivered yesterday.
What?
I got a sword.
A sword?
I got a sword. I got a real steel sword.
This goes along with what you told us last week about your cosplay adventures, isn't it?
Yes, and if you're following my Instagram, 1,000%, you know what
I know what it is now.
Keep posting pictures of it, and I also posted a picture of the sword
and the music that goes along with it.
Yep, I sure did.
Like, okay, now I know what this is.
Yeah.
So
now I have a sword, and it's okay. So I ordered it from this company, and they're Canadian, and they do prop weapons and accessories and stuff like that. They're amazing. They were actually at HalCon once. That's how we heard about them.
Okay.
But yeah, they get the most amazing stuff in, and my husband and I are big fans of them. So we ordered swords from them, and my sword, well, all of them are supposed to be dulled, like not sharp, because they're display pieces.
Right.
And I don't know if this one just like slipped past, but my sword is very sharp.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, so
I guess.
So it could legitimately cut something or someone.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to. I don't know how that one made it past the production line. And I mean, this Fire and Steel place, they don't make the swords. They, obviously they're a retailer, so they would get them wholesale from somewhere.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's not on them at all. But my sword is very sharp, and I'm very nervous because it's very large.
Well, I was
and heavy.
it's just for pictures, right?
It is. But
You'll have to dull it.
My plan was to be swinging it around.
Maybe dull it. Maybe chop a tree
I'm
with
nervous.
it. I don't know. How do you dull a sword?
I came upstairs and my husband had it in his hand with a piece of paper. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm cutting the paper." So then he was like,
Bucket
he gave me the sword.
check.
Yeah, and he was like holding the piece of paper in front of him. He's like, "Slice it." I was like, "Oh my god,
I'm gonna get
dangerous.
your nose or something."
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, the sword is so long. I mean, it's screen accurate, or accurate to the character rather.
That's amazing.
It's so long that I don't have enough arm span to hold the scabbard and put the sword in. So I have to put the scabbard down and like aim the sword in, or I need somebody to hold it for me because my arm span is too small.
That's gonna be super accurate to the movies and books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the video game, it's legit.
Oh, okay. No, I meant the way you have to sheath the sword.
Yeah. I'm sure she does that.
I don't know which one you're gonna be though. I know the show.
The video game.
Oh, the video game.
Yeah.
But character. You're not gonna say it, or?
Oh, I can say it. Yeah, I can say it. It's all over my Instagram.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm gonna be Siri from The Witcher.
Siri, okay,
from The
good.
Witcher, the Wild Hunt video game.
Nice, awesome. Mm-hmm. That is so exciting. I cannot wait. I can't wait.
It's good. My husband and I were watching some cutscenes of Geralt and Ciri in the game, and it's so adorable. They're very cute because he just loves her and is like a father to her, protector. It's cute.
I'm currently watching a streamer on Twitch actually go through the gameplay of Witcher 3. I'm like, I should actually probably just play this myself because it looks really good.
Best one. It is. Yeah.
Definitely looks good.
Yeah, it's good. And we were joking too. So we have some friends joining us in this photo shoot that are also cosplaying. And two very dear friends of mine are being Yennefer and Triss Marigold from The Witcher, which are actually Geralt's love interests.
Yes.
And my husband is being Geralt. So my friends are dressing as his love interests, and they're going to get pictures in the photo shoot being his love interest. And I'm dressing as his daughter. Or, child surprise daughter.
That's right. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That's actually hilarious. Oh god, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and then we joked, another good friend of ours, he is doing Yaskir for it as well.
Okay.
So then we were joking about that, and he's like, and then I'm also a love interest, so you're really the only one that isn't.
Oh, that's so perfect. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The pictures are going to be interesting.
Yeah, I just need the weather to cooperate for the day we booked. That would be ideal, because we're going to be outdoors. And
is it in February?
It sure is.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. That's when we get our most snow.
Exactly. It's the most unpredictable month for weather.
It is.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've had a lot of snow already, so maybe Nova Scotia's just getting it out of its system and it can just crap it all out now. And then
I feel like we've had a couple of years where we didn't really have any snow at all here. So
no,
this is actually good, because snow is good weather for a shoot like that for The Witcher.
I mean, it is. It'll be cold.
Maybe not for Nikki.
Yeah, for everybody, because nobody's really in winter wear.
Exactly.
Yaskier would be the only one that's kind of covered.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Good luck. I wish you all the best.
Hey, thanks. And a reminder that my show comes out on Eastlink. When this airs, it will have come out last Thursday, but then also every Thursday. So what are you doing listening to us? Go watch my show.
That's right. Finding Fantasy on Eastlink
Finding
TV.
Fantasy on Eastlink.
Yep. Oh, and I looked up where they have cable, and it looks like it's just in Nova Scotia, a few places in New Brunswick, and PEI.
Oh, well.
So
if you don't live in those places, I'm sorry. You can't see my TV show.
I mean, there's got to be a way, right?
I think that they do it online, though. Can't you pay to watch online?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never looked into it. Maybe I should look into it to support my friend.
Yeah, maybe I should look into it so I can watch myself, because I don't have cable either.
I'll get it to support you, and you can come over and watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
No, I can't have anyone around while I watch it in case I'm really cringy or something.
Fair.
I don't want to be with somebody in case I do something embarrassing, which is inevitable.
I listen to you be cringy and embarrassing on this podcast every week.
That is true.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not wrong.
We have a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it whenever I actually have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, everyone support it so that I can get a season 2 when the world is more open, and then I can go to conventions and talk to people about their cosplay, and that'll be so much fun because I love talking to people.
Yes.
And
you're great at it too.
I am good to talk to.
I'm talking. Maybe not right now. She's just out of practice, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally.
Oh, I have a thing. I have another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we're talking, before Meg and I started recording, we were just staring at each other in the video chat, being like, "Who's gonna say something when we turn the mics on?"
I have
and
absolutely
I was like,
nothing
I don't know.
to talk about.
I have a thing. So somebody reached out to me that I do not know. It was a lady from a different province, and my name was passed along to her because there is a little girl, and it is her 8th birthday next week, and they are in lockdown where they are, and it's the 2nd year in a row she's been in lockdown for her birthday, and she's very sad because she cannot see her friends. But her mom told me that Wonder Woman is her favorite thing in the world, and she was like, I hear that you are the go-to Wonder Woman cosplayer.
What?
So she asked if I would put my cosplay on and either do a video call or send a video message to the little girl for her birthday.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that this weekend.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
that's so sweet.
And as per usual for my messages to children, I will only be wearing Wonder Woman on the top half and then just be party on the bottom half.
Exactly, sweatpants. It's fine. Wonder Woman has to be comfy sometimes too, you know.
Yeah. And the family was very nice. They asked what they would like in exchange, and I told them I would just like them to donate to the YWK.
That's amazing. The YWK is a children's hospital here in Halifax. If we haven't mentioned that, we might have mentioned that before, but
maybe we do volunteer work so that money can go to them because they are a very good hospital, and that is where I do all of my charitable donations.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a great hospital. That's great. That's so exciting. And I wonder how she heard about you. That's pretty cool.
Her message said she was somebody's sister's friend.
Wow. Okay.
Or something. And they were like, we've been asking around, and they said that you were the one to talk to.
That's really amazing that your name is out there like that for that type of thing. Because, I mean, it's true. You are the best.
Be it good or bad, I guess.
Well, Whatever, it's publicity.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my good deed for the week.
I love
my
it.
Kid happy. Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Hey, thanks.
I can't wait to hear all about it and how she took it.
Yeah, I'll send Megan a copy of
yeah.
my...
Please do.
I started writing down what I was going to say because I don't think I can freeball it because I'll say something and be like, oh God, that was embarrassing. I told her, she was like, would you do like a video chat? And I was like, how about like a video recorded message?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. You could have like I don't know, they must have like teleprompter apps or something like that where you can get something that slides up as you talk while you're looking at the camera.
Oh, I'm a good memorizer.
Oh, okay. Wow,
Yes.
You're old school.
Yeah. I think it's because I can remember dances, so I'm good at remembering my lines too.
Oh, so you're meant to be an actress is what you're saying.
Based on my docuseries, no, I'm
No.
not.
You're trying to get people to watch it, not to watch it.
Oh, yeah, no, watch. It's really good. No, because it's not scripted. It's all just me talking. And I show up and they're like, okay, your mic's on. And I'm like, well, here we are.
This is why Nikki usually talks at the beginning of our episodes, because she's really good at just coming up with stuff to say out of nowhere, where I am not.
Yeah, and I'll be real with you. When I signed on with the docuseries, I thought it was going to be more, not scripted, but I thought that I would be given a list of things kind of that I have to say, or they'd be like, okay, we need you to ask the people these questions. And I'd be like, got it. And then I showed up for my first day of filming and they were like, and we're on. And I'm like, what? And then I just was like, oh, okay, this is how it is then. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, this is, yep, awesome.
Yeah. So my first one was probably not great because I was like, oh, I'm just doing this. Am I? Oh, okay.
But gives you so much creative freedom, and I feel like you would
does.
thrive in that world. So
yeah, it works out well. But now I know that when I'm driving to my whatever location shoot I'm doing, because I know beforehand who I'm going to interview or speak with, I think in my head of things to say at least a little bit.
Good call.
So I'm like, this person does this cosplay. Got it.
Maybe try to figure out a little bit about that cosplay if I'm not familiar with that world or genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've wasted enough time here without crime.
Sorry.
So my theme was Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Right.
Which is a great movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Today's case takes place in Kansas with the Bledsoe family. They were actually farmers, which I feel Kansas is a lot of farmland, isn't it?
Yeah, they get a lot of tornadoes, I hear. I'm
okay,
literally
Dorothy.
Thinking of Wizard of Oz. I'm so sorry. It's all I have for reference.
I'm sure that they never hear that, Megan.
Fair enough. I do believe it is a lot of farmland because they are very flat there. So I suspect it's perfect grounds for farming.
So the Bledsoe family were farmers. Tom and Floyd were the two youngest brothers. And they felt like they kind of had to fight for their parents' attention because they had 3 older half-siblings. Floyd was very different from his brother Tom. Floyd was outgoing, and he very much wanted to leave the family farm and kind of go out on his own. He wanted to find his own way. He wasn't the type to stay at home at all. Where Tom was the opposite, and he liked staying close to home. He liked doing what his parents wanted. He liked working on their farm, and he was just very much a homebody. When Floyd was 18, he decided to move out of the family farm. He found a local dairy farm that was willing to hire him and teach him what he needed to know. So he was pretty set starting a life for himself at only 18, which I feel like is more than a lot of us.
I was going to say, that's pretty young to, well, I mean, I was 17, but I lived with my sister for 3 years.
Yeah.
So not really the same thing, but.
No, I lived in university residence, but I needed my mom a lot.
The beginning of the story is very, very reminiscent of the story about the poor gentleman who lived on his father's tree farm. And I'm like, no, this cannot happen again. I can't take it.
This one's worse.
Great. Okay. At least
Somebody dies in this one, so we got that going for us.
Okay, well, thanks for the heads up.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Trigger warning, murder.
What?
So Floyd ended up moving. He was only 5 miles away from his parents' farm and Tom, because he still lived with them. But he never really saw them. Floyd always felt like his parents liked Tom more because of how compliant he was with them, and he just wanted to kind of stick with them. So Floyd just felt like he was kind of the outsider. In 1999, Floyd was 23 years old, and he was married to a woman named Heidi and living with her and his 2 small children that he had with her. I believe it was 2 boys. That August, his wife's 14-year-old sister, Camille, moved in with them too.
Wow.
I couldn't find out why she did anywhere, but she did. And it seemed like everything was going fine in their life. There was no issues. They were fine having Camille there.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably all worrying about if Y2K was going to make all the computers break or something.
That was a very real threat, okay?
Was it though?
I mean, I don't know how real of a threat it was, but it was definitely something that families had to really pay attention to and watch the clock kind of thing. Make sure that their computers didn't explode when
No, everybody was going wild about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I was too young and I didn't really get it. I mean, I still don't understand technology, and I think I was in like grade 6 or 7 or something.
I can't remember. I know my brother explained it to me because he is way more tech savvy and IT brain than I am. He explained it to me about how it was going to go over to like 000, and anything that was dated 00 would go back to 1900, and then it would conflict with all the, I don't know. It was just a bunch of very confusing terminology back then. I was a teenager. I was very young. I didn't really understand it either. So, and I've never looked into it again, so I really don't know.
No. All I remember is that everyone was freaking out about it. And then for New Year's, I had a sleepover at my friend Christina's house, and her parents bought some fireworks and gave us sparklers. But then everybody was really stressed about what would happen at midnight. But I was like, I got this sparkler. I got this sparkler. And then midnight happened and like everything was fine. And I didn't understand why everybody was so up in arms about it.
It's so true. I definitely was home. I was sitting on the computer in our basement because that's where
just waiting for it to explode.
And I was just doing my normal thing. I was just always on the internet. Literally, my life has never changed. I'm just always on the internet. Even back then, I was just hanging out on the internet, and I just watched the clock turn to 2000, and I was like, "This is really not like nothing is happening."
No, and
it's very anticlimactic.
No, and there's time differences. So other parts of the world would have hit the year 2000 before us.
That's right.
So wouldn't we have known?
Didn't really think about that.
Or was this just like a North American issue?
I don't know.
For some reason, because they don't have computers in other parts of the world.
Really
in
doubt
1999.
That's the case. I'm pretty sure it was like legitimately that we just didn't pay attention. I feel like the world was not as small as it is now back then.
Well, we all survived. Here we are. Look at us.
Yep.
So one Friday evening in November of that year, Floyd was at work when his mother-in-law called and asked if he had seen Camille. He said he hadn't, but she could stop by their house and look for her if she wanted to. That night, there was still no sign of her. So Floyd and his wife Heidi made some calls. They were trying to find her. They decided they were going to drive around town, hoping they would see her, but nothing. They looked all night, and there was no sign of her anywhere. They even had flyers made, and they passed those out, hoping someone had seen her, but nobody saw her at all.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Monday morning, so that was Friday night. Monday morning, Floyd and his wife were home when the police told them that they had found her body.
Oh, God.
Yes. To make this all worse, they broke the news that they had arrested a murder suspect, and it was Floyd's brother, Tom.
What?
Yes.
Yikes.
Tom actually turned himself into police. He told them that he shot and killed her, and then he even led police to her body that he had tried burying on his parents' property where he lived. Floyd and his wife's family were mourning over the loss of Camille, but also in total shock that Floyd's own brother was the one to do it.
Right.
A couple days after getting the news, the police called Floyd and asked if he'd come in for some questioning, which of course he did.
Yeah.
He had assumed this whole time that his brother was the main suspect since he confessed and led them to the body. But once he was at the police station speaking to police, he definitely started to feel like they were implying he did it based on the questions they were asking him. They then asked Floyd to take a polygraph test. He went willingly because he had nothing to hide. But after the test, he was told that he failed and his brother passed his test.
What?
So then he was put in jail under arrest for Camille's murder.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep. Just like that.
Well, aren't those not admissible in court? Like, I don't understand how they could have arrested based on that.
They're not. Nope. You're correct.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah. Your detective license is up to date there. It's a
perfect.
routine check. You passed.
That's
Good.
Great.
Floyd spent the night in jail, and it was the first night he'd ever been away from his sons since they were born. They wouldn't even let him make any phone calls, so he couldn't speak to anybody and explain what was happening. They held him in that cell for 3 days.
What the? This does not sound legal or legit at all.
No, it doesn't.
Absolutely.
I wonder if he asked for a lawyer. It didn't say, but I wonder.
Yeah, because that would be his lifeline to get out, like the word out to his family.
Yeah. Floyd said he felt numb just walking around inside of the cell. No one at the station would really talk to him or explain what was actually happening. He said he tried to sleep, but it was just super cold in there. So he was just awake and thinking the whole time.
What a sin. This poor guy.
Right? They then moved him into a communal cell and gave him an attorney who kept saying he'd be in touch. But he wasn't really helping him at all, or he didn't seem concerned at all. He found out from the news that his brother had been released. This whole situation obviously put a huge strain on his marriage since he's now under arrest for killing his sister-in-law.
Right.
So while he was being held in jail, his wife actually filed for divorce from him.
What? She did not.
Floyd's having a bad time.
No, she didn't even ask or find out if it was not true or not. That's really sad.
His parents did visit him, but they'd avoid talking about the reason he was there. Floyd told his mom, "Mom, I didn't do it." And she said, "Well, I know Tom didn't do it."
Oh,
and then
what is Tom, the favorite?
Right, he is.
Come on!
In fact, he is.
Oh, that's really frustrating.
And then she said to Floyd, "Oh, next you're going to be blaming your dad for it."
What?
Yeah.
That sounds like your family doesn't really have your back.
No. Oh,
Absolutely
no.
not.
6 months later, his trial started. His brother Tom had completely withdrawn his original confession, even though he was the one that came forward. He's the one that knew where the body was buried. Their parents testified that at the time of the murder, Tom was home with them, sleeping. Floyd said his parents wouldn't even look at him while they were up on the stand. Floyd did have alibi witnesses that could confirm where he was when the murder happened, but they weren't called to the stand.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
That's a great
this
question.
Doesn't make any sense. What is happening?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, this poor guy.
Right? Tom changed his story, and now he was saying on the stand that Floyd had killed Camille and asked Tom to kind of take the heat for him, or else he'd release embarrassing incidents about his past.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I would like to know what secrets you have that are so embarrassing that they would cause you to say you did a murder.
Right.
You didn't.
Unless it was like cheating or something and you didn't want to admit that it was true, even though your marriage is already.
So you'd rather say you killed somebody?
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I can't think of anything that I would rather admit to.
No, I feel like that, I don't know. If I heard that, I'd be like, that's bullshit right there.
Yeah.
The jury found Floyd guilty. He cried hysterically when he heard the verdict.
What a sin.
He was convicted of first-degree murder.
What?
Aggravated kidnapping and aggravated indecent liberties with a child.
Oh my.
She was only 14.
Gosh. What?
Yes.
I guess. That's a lot, though. How did they prove the premeditation? How did he prove any of this? I want to hear the evidence of this court case.
I'll tell you right now, there's none.
I bet there wouldn't be.
No. It's just Tom going, yep, it was him.
That blows my mind.
The jury was like, good. It's good.
Because Tom is not only the family favorite, but obviously the town favorite as well.
Apparently. So Floyd was sentenced to life in prison.
Oh my gosh.
He was so angry at everyone.
I bet.
The prosecutors, the detective, his parents, Tom. Everyone set him up to be the person to do this without considering anything else or looking at literally any of the evidence. He always thought that Tom was the favorite kid, but this definitely solidified that since his parents were willing to testify for one son, knowing that what they said would put the other one in jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You're going to put yourself in that position where you're going to do that to your kid.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they didn't have to testify. They could have just
Exactly.
not. But they chose to testify on behalf of Tom, knowing it would make Floyd look guilty.
Wow. These parents are not parents.
Not good.
No, not at all.
Floyd had a lot of bouts of depression in prison. He said Christmas and birthdays were the hardest for him. He did say he met a lot of good people who believed him and believed that he was innocent. He went through appeals and was eventually referred to Kansas University School of Law. Then the Innocence Project got involved.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I like the Innocence Project.
Yes. If you do not know who the Innocence Project are, they are an organization that exonerates the wrongfully convicted through DNA testing and reforms the criminal justice system to prevent future injustice. Mm-hmm. I took that from their website.
Yeah, no, they do amazing things. They have a fund you can donate to as well to help their cause.
Yes. As of December 2021, they had helped to free 237 people that were wrongly convicted and imprisoned in the U.S.
Nice. That's amazing. Yes. I love that.
Yeah, it's wild to see the statistics.
That happens.
No.
But I love that they are doing so much good for people.
Yeah. Yeah, the statistics were crazy. They have a bunch of stats on their website like, oh, we, received this many applications. The number of hours that they saved people from, I can't remember what it was, but it was thousands of hours that these people would have all added up to be in jail, and they helped them.
That's amazing.
To get out of jail.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love that.
So when they got involved, obviously they wanted to get everything DNA tested. There was DNA found on Camille from a rape kit that never got tested originally.
What?
I don't know why.
What? I'm going to say like a broken record tonight. What?
Yes.
They didn't test it?
No, and they had the capabilities to test DNA.
Why? Did they ever come out to say why?
We'll hear something a little later as to why it didn't
Okay.
get tested. I can't remember where it is in the notes, if it's sooner or if it's later.
Okay. I'll shut up.
So they pushed to get that tested, and the results were shocking to literally no one who has been following along. It was Tom's. It was Tom's DNA.
What?
Oh my God.
Friggin' oh, that's dirty.
Right?
That is absolutely dirty.
They gave the results to the county court, who then stalled the whole process and delayed freeing Floyd.
Why?
Because they don't want... No one likes to be wrong, Megan.
Yeah, but if you're wrong, you're wrong. Own up to it.
Yeah.
Own your mistakes. Getting angry.
So since they wouldn't do the whole stuff in court, they decided that instead they're going to put a press release out with the results of the DNA test so that the world can see.
Good.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely. That's
So
exactly
good.
what you should do. If you cannot get anywhere with the police when it is their wrongful conviction, absolutely go to the press.
Mm-hmm. A week after the press release confirming the DNA was not Floyd's, his brother actually killed himself.
What?
His body was found inside of his car, and it was an apparent suicide. He had left 3 notes behind. It seemed, from what I could see about what was in the notes, it's like there was one to his parents. Apparently he had a wife. He didn't when this all happened that I could see, but he did now. So he left a note for his parents, his wife, and then a 3rd note outlining what had happened. The note to his parents asked for them to tell his brother that he's sorry. The note to his wife apologized for taking his own life, saying, "I really loved you, but I cannot go on. It's tearing me up inside." The one outlining what happened was addressed to whomever cares. And then it gave his version of what happened that night with Camille. So this is what happened according to Tom.
I'm sorry.
In his note.
This is what a chicken shit way to go. Like, you weren't sorry about what happened. You were sorry you got caught. It's very apparent. You were not riddled with guilt before the actual evidence got brought to light.
No. And Floyd was in jail for almost 16 years. So it's been almost 16 years.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a little detail you missed.
Sorry, that's good. When we talk about him getting out, I talk about how long it's been. Yeah, he's been in jail for almost 16 years at this point.
So obviously he didn't give 2 shits about his brother in jail, rotting away when he was innocent this whole time.
Tom's been living his best life.
Yeah, until the evidence came to light. And
yes, because then Tom would have to go to jail.
Oh my God. I'm just... What a scum piece of garbage. Okay, go on.
So this is the events according to Tom. He said he picked Camille up from his brother's trailer and then took her to his parents' house where the two had sex in their bed. When he found out Camille was just 14 years old, Tom wrote that he freaked out. He went to his truck, grabbed his 9mm gun, and pulled Camille to the ground in an attempt to scare her. But he accidentally fired a round to the back of her head. He wrote, "I didn't mean to kill her."
Really? I actually believe nothing that he says at this point.
No.
I believe you wanted to keep her quiet about any kind of relationship he might have had with her because of her age.
I feel like it. I don't even know if it was a consensual relationship.
That also could be the case, yeah.
Yes, because what the letter doesn't explain is why she was shot 3 more times.
What?
Mm-hmm. She was shot 4 times in total.
Once, the first one was in the back of the head?
Yes.
And then 3 more times after that?
Yes.
Why? Like, what would even be the reason for that? You would have killed her on the first shot.
Yeah. Well, if it was an accident, I could maybe see the one shot. But was it an accident when you fired 3 more times?
Yeah, absolutely not. No.
No. And then you tried to bury her body in a trash heap on your parents' property?
Yeah. Disposing of a body, that's never a good sign.
His letters also said that the guilt had haunted him for years and that the prosecutor on the case had told him to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, right. If the prosecutor knew exactly what he did. What?
Prosecutors are not always the best of people.
I mean, that's fair. I like to see the good in people. I get proven
this
wrong
podcast
every
has taught
time.
you to see the opposite.
I know. I need to be more skeptical.
Live with me in fairyland. It's much nicer over here.
Okay. All right. Sounds nice.
The Innocence Project used the note, which also, the note straight up said that Floyd was innocent. And like Tom wrote that out. Like, Floyd is innocent. He did not do it. I did this. So they used that, and they used the DNA evidence to get Floyd exonerated after spending over 15 years in prison. He was almost 16 when he got released.
Wow. Wow. What a waste of his life. What a sin. That poor guy.
It was also found that the polygraph exams used originally, where they said Tom passed and Floyd failed, were found to be invalid.
What?
So they weren't even legit. No. The results were invalid.
So, like, were the cops best buddies with Tom or what? Like, I don't understand why they did that.
No, they weren't even. Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah. So not only did he lose like almost 16 years, I feel like those are some of the best years because he was only 23 when he got arrested.
Oh my gosh.
So he'd be like 38, 39 when he got released, depending on when his birthday is.
Absolutely.
And he lost all that time. Think of all the fun things you've done between the ages of 23 and 38.
Yeah. Well, I am 38, so.
I know. That's why I said that.
Like the last however 15, almost 16 years of my life, like definitely the most energetic and fun times I've ever had in my life were in those times. Well, I don't know what's to come. I mean, hopefully
the best times of my life so far were these times that I've already lived.
But better than like, you know, my teenage years and hopefully, you know.
Because by the time you're 23, you're like kind of have some stuff figured out. Like not really. I feel like 25 is when you start to like be like, okay, now I kind of know what's going on.
Yes, exactly.
And then I feel like 28 is when you like start to really be like, wow, being an adult is really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like 23 to 25, you still have that like young optimism.
Yeah.
And you can go out and drink and party and like do that
no
stuff.
Hangovers. Although I don't get hangovers now, so.
You're a freak and nobody likes you.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't help my genes. It's not a good thing.
I have one beer and I don't feel good for 3 days. That's an exaggeration, but
I feel like if I didn't have the stomach issues that I have, I would definitely be an alcoholic.
Oh God,
it's just easy for me to drink. Oh, and I'd have to have money because you know money is not easy to come by these days.
No, you just got to start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, okay, I'll just get right on that.
Hey, people are making a lot of money.
They do. They deliver content people actually want to see, though.
Yeah, you could too, Megan.
Oh God. Anyway, let's hear more about poor Floyd and what.
So poor
what's going
Floyd,
on.
he lost the young fun years of his life after almost 16 years in prison. On the 8th of December 2015, in shackles, handcuffs, and a belly chain, a judge told Floyd he was free.
Wow.
Yay.
I mean, yay. But
I know.
That's so sad. That is the saddest thing. Oh, my heart.
He said it felt like total bliss when the judge said that to him.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad it gave him relief. How did his stinking betrayal of a wife feel about that?
I know, right?
Ex-wife.
Well, it's fine. Floyd is on to bigger and better things.
Good. He should be. He doesn't want to be with that hoe anyway.
No, let's not call her a hoe. Let's not go that far. We don't know who this podcast reaches, siblings. Let's not call people hoes. You can call murderers hoes.
She divorced him without even finding out if he did it or not.
Maybe they were on the rocks already.
I
don't
mean,
know.
that could be the case. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So Floyd walked out at 3:30 p.m. and he went to a restaurant to celebrate with his attorneys and interns. He couldn't thank them enough for actually believing him, first of all, and then helping him to clear his name.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah. That makes me
Floyd
happy.
wasn't done there, though. And he shouldn't be, because the state just robbed him of almost 16 years of his life.
Yep.
So he has an ongoing lawsuit in U.S. District Court for the District of Kansas. The case, filed in May 2016, alleges misconduct by the law enforcement and the Jefferson County attorney responsible for the investigation and prosecution. Most recently, in a 162-page memorandum filed November 18th, 2020, U.S. District Judge Daniel Crabtree denied the defendant's motion to dismiss the case.
What?
So the state filed a motion to be like, no, throw this out. He's not allowed to sue us. We're fine. We did okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
So the judge was like, no,
That's
not how the justice system works, but thank you.
perfect. Good. I'm glad.
Yes.
Wow. That really speaks volumes for what kind of business they like to hand out over there.
So that was denied, which is great.
Good.
Go Judge Crabtree.
Yeah, absolutely.
The allegations in his lawsuit made against the Jefferson County officials include withholding evidence. For example, Floyd and his original attorney were told that a DNA test on the rape kit collected from Camille's body was negative, as in they couldn't get any usable DNA hits on it.
I thought
When in reality,
right.
the testing had been halted by a stop order and was never completed before the trial.
And who did the stop order?
The state.
The state just
The
stopped?
Prosecutor.
Why?
That
doesn't
because
make
then
any
Floyd
sense.
would be innocent and Tom would be guilty.
I don't get it. I'm failing to understand why.
You would think that you would want a murderer in jail.
Yes, absolutely. The correct murderer, not the fake one. That you obviously, you have DNA. Use it. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Put that on a shirt. You have DNA. Use it.
It's true, though. You have it. You should definitely use it. Process it. Do something with it.
Yeah.
Just hold on it or put a stop hold. Maybe they were struggling with resources, but still, that's not a good reason for...
No, because they lied and they said it was negative. They said it was completed.
Right.
And it was negative.
Yeah. That's even worse.
Yes, because otherwise they would have pursued that earlier and been like, no.
I swear, Tom must have been doing something dirty to them in bed, because I can't even imagine why they would do this to Floyd. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. He was framed. I saw another stat on the Innocence Project website, and I can't remember what it was. This isn't a happy stat, but it gives you the number of people that were of crimes and other murders that happened because the wrong person wasn't put in jail. Because on so many of the cases, the DNA evidence allows them to find the actual culprit of these crimes.
Right.
And then they can see that while they were not in jail when they should have been, they also committed, this many sexual assaults and this many murders. So they have a stat of the crimes that happened because the wrong person was put in jail and not the right person.
Good info to go into court with.
Right?
That's
it's a
amazing.
disturbingly high number.
That's scary.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because once you feel like you can get away with it, you're going to start
that's
doing...
the thing, yeah.
That's how things escalate, too, and how they get worse.
Yes. Floyd's case also alleges that investigators failed to collect evidence from Tom's vehicle, including a shovel that Tom claimed Floyd had used to bury the body. So Tom told the police that, oh yeah, the shovel that buried her body is in my car. And the police never collected it and tested it.
What?
Right? Because it wouldn't have had Floyd's DNA on it.
Also, Tom didn't tell the police that initially. Like, that came up later?
I don't know.
Like, after Floyd was arrested? I don't, like, and how
Yeah,
would
after Floyd was arrested.
how
And he
would
changed
you
his story to be
know?
like it was Floyd.
Like, how did he know that without disclosing the fact that he knew about the murder and didn't?
Because he said he did. Because remember, he said that Floyd pressured him to take the heat.
I guess, yeah.
Or else he would expose some embarrassing incident.
Yeah, okay. Still.
Yeah, so either way, if you thought Tom or you thought Floyd was guilty, why didn't you take the freaking shovel as evidence and have it tested?
Yeah, it definitely should have been tested. There should be no reason why it wasn't tested.
Right.
Even just
But the reason
sake
is
of
because it
knowing.
would have showed that Floyd is innocent because his
But-
DNA would not have been on it.
But that tells me that the cops were in on it. Like, I can't even begin to imagine why they wouldn't have tested it had they not been on Tom's side for one reason or another. You know what I mean? Like, or they were against Floyd for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Like, what the reason was.
The cops are getting, the investigators or detectives or whatever they were that were involved, they're all named in this case.
They could have got a murderer doing it the right way, though.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
They could have.
It just blows my mind. It could be political too, which is the case with a lot of things, sadly.
Mm-hmm. Another piece of evidence originally used in court that was in Tom's favor was a time-stamped receipt found with the time of 4:30 on Friday, November 5th, 1999, approximately when Camille went missing. So that was used in court to help Tom. But what I don't understand is that Tom's parents' alibi was that he was sleeping. So I don't understand how both of those pieces of evidence were used to help Tom because they are certainly contradictory.
Yeah.
But either way, in this new case, his attorneys point out that the receipt was actually in military time. So it was stamped for 4:30, which would be 4:30 a.m., not p.m.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that was like something they were just like, yeah, it's 4:30. This says 4:30. We're all good. They never looked into whether it was military time or not.
Oh, interesting.
So that was a piece of evidence used to show Tom's innocence.
Right.
But it shows nothing because it's not the time that she was murdered. She was murdered well before that.
Yeah. Wow.
The case also points out that Floyd had an alibi and witnesses for his whereabouts for when Camille went missing. And they didn't include any of that. Like, he straight up had people that were like, yes, he was with me. We were here. And the courts just didn't want to hear about that. Even though they wanted to hear about Tom's shitty receipt.
Wow.
Floyd has already won a $1 million settlement for his wrongful conviction.
Nice.
But he's not letting this case go because he just wants answers. He wants people to be held accountable for what happened to him.
What else is he gonna do? Like, this poor man just lost 16 years of his life. He can totally do that, and he is justified doing it too.
Yep.
Good for him.
To make me have even less faith in the prosecutor that you asked about, Megan.
Yes.
On his witch hunt for Floyd, his law license was suspended in 2005 and then again in 2011 for ethical violations in other cases completely unrelated to this.
Oh my gosh. Get this man out of the bar and into jail, guys.
I don't know why after the first one you would get to go back to practicing law.
Right. But for sure, like, first time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you.
And that's when he got caught. So how many more didn't he get caught?
Right, exactly. And then he still got to keep his license? Like, that doesn't jive.
Nope.
There's got to be interpersonal relationships happening here. I don't know how small this town was or if it was
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, so I mean,
it didn't really say the town. It just said Kansas, and I don't know, like,
it sounds very political.
Yeah. I saw that there was some more movement in the case in September 2021 because the police officers that were named in the suit were trying to get out of it, and they asked for immunity from being charged in it.
Think about why they would want to be out of it.
Yeah.
Because they knew they'd done fucked up. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
You don't want to be involved because you know you did wrong. Like, this man was not guilty and you did nothing to try to help him.
Right.
And make sure that he didn't go to jail.
Right. So good news. That ask for immunity was denied by the courts.
Good. Glad to hear that.
So
I just kind of
believe they're appealing it up to some fancy Supreme Court that they should be immune from being charged.
Absolutely not.
No.
I really hope justice prevails on that one.
Yeah, same.
Because it did not for many years for poor Floyd.
Since being out of prison, Floyd has seen his parents, and he does forgive them for what they did.
Really?
He's a better man than me.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, because I'm like, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could be around them and actually look them in the eye and say, like, you know, I can't believe you did that to me, and forgive them for that.
No, I would have to know why. I would have to sit down and be like, why? Why did you lie for him? Yeah. Knowing it would put me in jail. Why?
Yeah, knowing it would put me in jail. Like, yeah. No question about it.
No, and they were lying because Tom did it.
Exactly.
Tom was guilty.
Right,
so they
exactly.
Were lying.
They had to have been lying. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that to their own child? Like,
right.
They should have excused themselves from the whole thing because they should never have been involved.
No. His mom had been hospitalized, and when he walked in to see her, he described seeing an old lady struggling to breathe. So then all he had was compassion, and any kind of anger he had just went away.
Okay, well, if you had led with that part, it's a little different, I guess. If you see your mother on your on her deathbed, all cares about anything.
She was going to let you die in prison.
Float away. Fair. Yeah, but again, he's definitely a bigger man than
he's
most.
A good guy.
I'm glad that he stayed that way too. Like, he kept true to himself even after all those years in prison, because that can change people.
Oh yeah,
I hear. I don't know that for a fact, but
Megan is hardened from her prison days.
That's right. All the criminal time I spent in jail. I don't even know what you call it. Criminal time.
Your time behind bars.
That's right. Yeah.
His dad was still super standoffish, which, like, I don't know why he's the one being standoffish. He's the one that lied. But anyway, Floyd says he learned in prison that he had to forgive them and all the people who wronged him.
Good for him.
He doesn't want to let their actions control him, and it's a decision he chooses to make daily.
That is very, very grown up and smart of him to do. That's something that they probably would have taught him in counseling if he had that at all.
Yeah.
And that would help him move forward with his life.
Yeah.
Without any, like, living in the past kind of thing.
Yeah. He said, quote, "I still don't know why. I can't excuse what they did, but it doesn't help me to hate them for it." End quote.
Good for him.
Right? I'm pretty petty, so he's a much bigger person than me. You've wronged me once, I probably won't speak to you ever again.
I just don't know how you would, like, how would we know how we would deal with it if we have never lived in this situation? Like, is this where supervillains are born, or where you find God and just completely change your life over, or what? Like, it could literally be from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah. Well, I think the only solution here is we have to go to jail, and then we can find out.
I mean, I feel like I don't want to do that. Just go straight up say, no thanks, I'm good.
I don't wanna.
I absolutely have no desire to go to jail. Thank you
Just
very much.
joking. No.
Absolutely not.
I have too many food sensitivities. I would just die.
Oh,
I wouldn't be able to eat.
Same. Now, same. And also, COVID is a thing that I feel kind of awful about, going rampant through jails and stuff. Like, I can't imagine how they deal with it.
No.
It's not good. Hey, well, that was a great story. Thank you, Nikki.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done? What?
I'm not done.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Jeez, just grab the giant hook to pull me off the stage, why don't you?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello,
Yeah.
my ragtime gal. Okay, go ahead.
But all the things I have left are kind of good things.
Okay, good.
Yes. So one major change Floyd has seen in the now 20 years since he was convicted is that the Kansas legislators the Kansas legislators' passage of a law that is, I don't know why that word is really hard on my tongue.
Mouthful there for you.
Passage of a law that requires law enforcement agencies to record interrogations in homicide and felony sex crime cases. Former Governor Sam Brownback signed it into law in May 2017.
Nice.
Floyd had actually testified in favor of it.
Nice.
He said that it's important, especially in small towns like his. So there you go.
Okay,
confirmed small town.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Had the law been in effect in 1999, it could have made a big difference in his own case because his interrogation with the police was recorded, but for some reason, Tom's wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
How freaking convenient.
So the jurors saw video of Floyd being interrogated, even though he maintained his innocence the whole time. Even just seeing somebody being interrogated by police for hours that gives you a certain image. Whereas they had no chance to hear Tom being interrogated and to hear all of his contradictory statements and all of the false confessions that he had made in front of police. But it wasn't recorded. So jurors never got to see that.
Wow.
But this new bill is now in effect in Kansas, and it means that can't happen again.
Yay! Good. That's very good news. I'm happy to hear that. I mean, 2017, I feel like, is still way too late in the game for that to be a thing. Like, how long has
that's only in
recordings been
Kansas.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the law is in other states, but
true. Fair.
It could be maybe Kansas was slow to the game. I do not know.
I'm going to go with hopefully they were the last ones to put it into play and everybody else already had it because it's, come on. We have the technology, use it.
Yeah.
Just like you have the DNA, use it.
What did you say? Is that what you said earlier?
Yes.
I can't remember now, whatever it was.
You have the DNA, use it. Now you have the technology, use it.
Yeah. Floyd's first 2 kids that he had with Heidi grew up not knowing about him until they were older. They call another man dad, and he is just Floyd to them now.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's a little sad. Sorry. I'm
so
bringing us back up,
sad.
though. We're going in the upswing now.
Oh, you've ruined it.
Sorry, no, we're going. So Tom remarried when he was released. He actually married a prison volunteer named Amanda.
Tom.
I
was
Floyd.
like, wait, didn't Tom not make it?
I 100% typed Tom in my
Did
notes
you?
too.
Okay.
He's back from the grave.
Oh God, I'm like very alarmed here. Like,
and now it turns into a supernatural story where a ghost is.
Wow, that was a twist. I wasn't expecting that.
You can tell it's the end of the day here.
Exactly.
So Floyd remarried when he was released.
Gotcha.
He married a prison volunteer named Amanda. She already had a young son, and then the couple had 2 more children of their own.
Oh, good. I'm glad he got to have more kids.
Yeah, I'll post some pictures of them on the Instagram that I'm assuming he authorized them to be out because they were in one of the articles.
Right.
The kids are very adorable.
Yeah, he probably wanted to get his story out there, and I'm glad.
Yeah, he looks very happy in the pictures, and his wife is in there too. They have some little selfies. It's very cute.
Yeah.
The youngest daughter, Brinley, has 2 middle names, Alice and Jean, and they are actually the names of 2 of the attorneys from the Innocence Project that helped free Floyd.
No way.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. The people that helped him at the Innocence Project are still very much a part of his life. Floyd joked that his wife made him cut Brinley's middle name down to 2 because he tried to include everybody's name.
That poor child.
Yeah.
Just like 50 middle names.
Yeah. He considers them all a part of his family. Floyd even said that even still, they'll give him encouragement whenever he's down. They give him advice whenever he needs it, and he can still, turn to them even after he's been freed.
That's amazing. What an amazing organization this is.
Oh, that organization is just the freaking best.
Everything out of the water.
Right?
Wow, that's amazing.
Floyd and his family have a small acreage of land where they spend a lot of time enjoying the outdoors. They're living your dream, Megan. They have some cows. They have some dogs. They have some chickens.
Little hobby farm.
Yep.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
He is now working for a nonprofit called Freedom Challenge that does programming to help inmates at the Hutchinson Correctional Facility. He was a participant in the program while he was incarcerated. So he works with about 25 guys that are in the prison. The group recycles mattresses and builds various products out of the recycled materials. So according to the Kansas Department of Corrections website, as the only mattress recycling center in Kansas, the facility has recycled more than 17,000 mattresses, which consisted of 46,000 pounds of foam, 287,000 pounds of steel, and 22,000 pounds of wood, and 46,000 pounds of cotton.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, wow. I don't know what they're making with all that, but they're making something.
That's amazing, though. Wow.
Yeah. Right?
Unbelievable. They probably use it for multiple different things. Like steel can be used for just about anything that you need steel for. And that's
I love it.
So
I love saving the environment. And then they're keeping those things out of landfills. And that's helping our environment and helping Mother Earth, which we all need to do.
This is also a great project. Sorry, what was it called again?
It is called the Freedom Challenge is the name of the program.
Okay, nice. That's amazing. I love that.
Yes. Floyd also teaches employment skills to inmates at the Hutchinson South Unit. He said he wants to help guys transform their lives and be able to be successful when they get out of prison. Oh my
gosh, that's so important. That rehabilitation process is so important so that they can succeed when they get out. Like, yes, getting back into the real world must be so stressful. I can't even begin to imagine. Right? Especially the longer you've been in there, the harder it is to get out. Right. But if he can do it, he was in there 16 years. Yeah. So good and for him.
That, I feel like those years that he was gone, those are the kind of the years that you learn to really adult.
That's
right.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's when you learn a lot of your life skills, because that's when you actually have to be fully. I guess he kind of was on his own since he was 18, though, so he was probably better off than
for 5 years. But that's not like make or break.
No,
for the rest of his life. You don't
have the emotional maturity until you're like in your late 20s. I find.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So Floyd is pretty much a saint because he literally was wrongly imprisoned, spent all this time in prison, and now he spends all of his time helping the prison and people in prison.
I love that. Right? And that would have changed. I mean, obviously the 16 years would have changed the course of his life, but he would have likely been doing something completely different career-wise had he not been jailed on accident or by being framed. Because that trajectory that you're on kind of leads you to where you think you want to go, and then something happens to you and it's like, nope, this is actually where I need to be because this is where I can help the most. Yeah, agreed. Wow. And he also is an amazing painter, and he showed, I'll post a picture on the Instagram, that he was showing some paintings that he had completed in prison, and they are extremely good. Like, wow. Yeah, like when I was just scrolling past the picture, I thought he was holding up 2 giant photograph posters. Oh, really? Yeah, one was of a bear and one was of some, I think it was geese over some water. So they were naturey. Okay. But I thought that they were like pictures, photograph pictures. That's amazing. Where do you find the time? I was going to say, where do you find the time? But so he said he still likes to paint when he can find the time, but he has a lot less time on his hands nowadays. Which is not a bad thing. Right? Wow. That's amazing. And now that's a wrap on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a.k.a. Who Framed Floyd Bledsoe. Oh my gosh. It was Tom. Tom framed him. Thank you for that. Yeah, just in case nobody got that by the end, it was Tom. He framed him. Oh my gosh. That was quite the roller coaster that you just took us on. Right? I have no words. It was so angry, that whole process. Mm-hmm. That whole justice system just failed him immensely. Like, that is such a miscarriage of justice. Yeah. Ugh. I found a lot of cases when I was trying to find one to do. Surprisingly, a lot of cases where people were framed, they weren't very long. Really? Because it would be like somebody did a murder and then they blamed somebody else. And then, like, clearly no investigation takes place.
So then
True.
they just kind of go to jail.
Yeah.
And then eventually something frees them.
Yeah.
So it was like, I found it hard to find a case that I was like, this will fill an hour.
Right.
But then I saw all this stuff with Tom.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and it's a little juicy because of how it was his brother and his parents. So I was like, this is
yes, that is absolute juicy. Yes, like horrible and horrific that he had to go through that.
Because a lot of them were people just, they committed a murder and they blamed somebody else.
Right.
And then the other person went to jail, which isn't, I mean, it's interesting, but it's not like, oh my God.
Hard to, do a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
Just do like an episode of like multiple stories.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, entirely possible to hear something like that in the future.
Yeah, we do whatever we want here.
That's right. It could be a different thing every week.
Yeah, although you do what you want to at home.
That's right.
Just free ball it all.
Free ball.
Mm-hmm. And if you need like a note written, just ask and we'll write you a note to excuse you from whatever you don't want to do.
I'm sure that'll fly with whatever authority figure they're going to show that note to. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Their parents. Who are these, Nikki and Megan from the Grimdark Diaries?
Oh, no, we're going to sign it the Grimdark Diaries.
Oh, okay.
It looks more official.
True, yeah.
I'll get my Cricut to write it for us so we can put it in whatever font we want, and then we look like we have the most beautiful handwriting you've ever seen.
Perfect. I love it. Nothing could go wrong with that.
No, it's foolproof. Well, Megan, roll your
my
D20
turn.
there.
I have my glow-in-the-dark D20 today. I'm going with a different die. I love this.
I hope you roll like an alien category or something.
Alien. Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Glow in the dark.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, it doesn't roll better than any other die.
What did you get?
I got a 3.
Oh, no. In fact, I think that's worse. You've been getting like 10s and 11s.
I know. I need to go back to the die that you gave me because that was the one that was rolling above 10. My category for next week is so much cringe.
Ooh, you could do anything.
I know. I love it.
The world is your cloister.
I'm sorry. My what?
Your cloister.
What is a cloister?
It's a Pokemon.
I don't know what that is.
Megan, I screamed at you about Pokemon for 60 minutes. You didn't retain all 100 and...
I feel like
I can't remember how many we screamed about. 155?
You didn't name them all.
Well, looks like we need another episode.
Oh, no.
We'll do the Pokemon rap.
I don't know what that is.
There's a rap.
Okay. I trust you.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, God. We're going to do the rap for our listeners.
Oh, my God. Let's practice it.
Okay.
Megan will have no idea what she's saying, so it'll just be like gibberish to her.
I'll be making the sounds that sound like the word, but not really know what the word is, so I don't really know what I'm saying. The inflections will be all wrong. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah.
Hilarity content.
Yeah, that happened when Pokemon Go first came out, and I had roommates, and one of them had never played Pokemon or done anything with Pokemon, but she downloaded the app and we'd go find Pokemon together, and she would see them and then she would say the name because she'd never heard it spoken before, and she'd be like, what's this? And we would all laugh because we'd be like, that's not what it's called, but I mean, it's a ridiculous made up name, so who would know? But
fair, yeah.
It was very funny to us.
Yes, like cloister.
Yeah, cloister.
I assume it's an oyster shaped Pokemon.
I'll send you a picture of him.
Okay.
He's pretty tough looking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we say here. The world is your cloister. Okay,
well, that's good to know. Literally the first time I've ever heard it or caught it, because if you said it before, I never caught it before now.
I'm going to send you a picture of a cloister right now, so keep talking.
Okay. I don't really have anything else
You got to
say.
finish the episode.
Oh, I'm finishing the episode. Okay, I didn't know. I thought you wanted me to
You
talk
have to
about
thank
Pokemon.
everybody and tell them where they can look at us.
Okay, I know that. I just didn't realize I needed to say that now before we...
Megan, we have a catchphrase for this and everything.
What?
That we say at the very end. I just sent you a picture of a cloister.
Okay. You want me to look at it now? Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, everyone live react.
Okay. I don't know how you sent it to me.
Facebook Messenger.
Oh, Facebook.
God, I hope
okay.
I sent it to you.
Yes, you did. Okay.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay. What is I
Describe what you're seeing.
Nope. I don't know if it's appropriate. It's like a sideways oyster. It's not one that's like flat on the ground with the mouth. It's sideways, so it looks
Yes.
Like it has lips on the side.
Like
Okay.
for a mouth?
No. And then it has a spike coming out of the middle of it, and that just is very alarming on every level.
He's very armored.
Yes. And he's got spiky things coming. Nikki, the shape of the one spike on the top
Yeah.
is very reminiscent of some toys you might find at the Everything to Do with Sex show.
What kind of toys?
I'm not gonna say. Okay. Anyway.
See, this is great. 'Cause
Wow.
See, I watched Pokemon as a child, so to me, it is a completely innocent looking thing.
Of course it is. This is literally the first time I've seen this character in my life.
Okay. I need you to never look at another Pokemon again, because when we launch our Patreon, we're going to have a segment of live videos where I show Megan Pokemon for the first time and she reacts to what she's seeing.
Okay. Sounds good to me. If this was the first one.
And you have to guess their names.
Oh, God. Okay. I would never have guessed this one as Cloyster.
What would you have guessed it as?
I don't know.
This is my new favorite thing that I didn't know I needed.
I don't know. I feel like it's very inappropriate. I'm not good with coming up with names, so maybe we'll leave that out of the...
Okay, that'll be our next show.
Okay.
On our Patreon. You have to pay money for that one.
Yeah,
if
that's
you want
right.
that kind of comedy gold. Okay,
Exactly.
Megan, take us out.
Okay. I hope you all enjoyed this episode and the content that we give all around the episodes. If you want to follow us on social media, you can find us at The Grimdark Diaries on Instagram and Facebook, as well as Grimdark Diaries on Twitter. If you want to send us an email and maybe send us some of the Pokemon that you'd like to hear me react to, then you can send those to thegrimdarkdiaries@gmail.com. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star rating.
And Spotify.
And on Spotify, you can give us a 5-star rating as well. Yeah, so if you could do those things, if you can comment, or if you can rate whatever podcast platform you're living.
Oh my God, they're living in a podcast platform. That's my dream.
I feel like
With
some
Cloyster.
people might be. I don't know. Oh God,
I
with
pretty much
Cloyster.
am. I listen to podcasts all day long.
They're having a great time with Cloyster, I bet. Oh God.
Hey, that is a children's character,
I
Megan.
mean, we
Don't
are.
you dare sully this for me.
We are an 18+ podcast, so I will think what I want. Okay, everybody, thank you. If you no, what am I saying? Join us next week to see what I come up with for So Much Cringe. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.